people say, why do you run? You know, pretty well known as a writer. I get a lot of, there was a conference in England that had panels on about me, and I just got the Lifetime Achievement Award, all these things. But to me, it's about filling in the gaps. There's too many gaps that don't include us. And I'm going to do my best to be in those gaps to say, we need to be seen. And I think, believe it or not, I'm saying we are talking about the working class, the poor, of course, Raza, of course, you know, a black, Asian, whites, anybody who's out there, queer, the communities that don't get seen, don't get heard, and don't even get recognized. I want to be able to, I don't want to say I want to speak for anybody, I want to be able to just voice what all the people have been struggling. This is a big state. We're not seen, can you imagine? We got a big Hollywood over here. You know how they just jump over us? Don't cover our stories? I get it, they got gentrification, they got a few things out there with the name of that, gentrify. It's all good, but I'm saying, you know what, we're just people that don't care. I remember one time I was in Chicago, I lived in Echo Park with them, I lived all over LA. And they had a film called Echo Park. I don't know if you guys remember it. And I was in Chicago, oh cool. I'm gonna go watch this film by Echo Park, my barrio, my mi gente, it's gonna be great. It's all white people. And I'm not jumping on white people, I'm just saying this is like, wait a minute, Echo Park? Echo Parque? And we weren't even in the film? You know what I'm saying? And we were there were shouts and screams on the outside and they talked about us. But we were out of the screen. The reason why I mentioned that is because the about time that we got front and center in politics, just like in entertainment, just like in the world. It's about time that the most impacted people of all this economy and crisis and everything got to be right in the center. We have to center ourselves. And I know that's what I want to do, is center you all, because this is what my campaign is about. I don't really care about me personally. There's no big money. We don't got a lot of money, by the way. But we're going to raise as much money as we need. This is what's terrible about politics. Big money. And people that don't represent any of us get big money and they get elected. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that. I'm fighting against the big money in our politics. I'm fighting against all these people that don't give us space. And that's why I want to be a voice for that. I am talking about ending poverty. Nobody talks about that. They want to manage the crisis. They don't want to get to the root of it. I'm talking about ending the unhoused homelessness. People say, no, you can't do it. I've heard it can't be done. I go, why not? Homelessness and all these issues, I can tell you the root of it. You know, I'm talking about houses going crazy, the prices of housing going nuts, gentrification that happened, the mortgage crisis, how they use people, foreclose millions of people, so many people forget about that. They're talking about people being homeless because they're mentally ill or they're on drugs. They weren't that way before they got homeless. They got pushed out of their homes. Constantly in LA, we're being pushed out constantly. And nobody's talking about what's leading to that. And we have to get to it. So I don't want to manage a crisis. I want to get to the root of it. And that's why I'm against deportations. Our gente, treated like dogs, treated like they're not human beings. I'm working with indigenous communities up and down the state. The Pomo land, they want their land back. The redwood forest, the Europe, who told me that they know how to prevent wildfires. Wildfires, it's just like homelessness, it's preventable. You know what I'm saying? It's all preventable. And yet, the state constantly has wildfires, constantly has people in the street. We have to prove to them that in fact we have the answers. We are the answers. You know what I'm saying? We're not just a bunch of people that just try to work for office just to get a name. We got the answers to all of this. The environment, we got answers to end the poisoning of our land. Whatever the issue may be. I even had somebody say, I didn't put anything about the disability community. Just include them, include everybody. These are people that aren't included, and yet this is a big state. 5th largest economy in the world, and we can't even take care of people having homes or health care. Health care is a mess here. This is the most progressive state. This is why I get mad. This is the most liberal state. Everybody touts it and goes, this is the most liberal, we're in trouble. Because we don't want to go back to the way the Republicans want to take it, or the Deep South, or these other states. We're not going that. We want to go forward, and what's blocking us is the idea that, oh, this is the best we can get. No, we deserve better. And that's what I'm trying to put out there. And that's what I hope to get out of this campaign. Now, I will say a couple of things, and I'll read maybe a poem or two. We're not going to make this campaign work unless you all spread the word. I don't want to centralize emails. I don't want to centralize. I want to decentralize it. You use your own networks. You go out and tell people, vote for Luis Rodriguez. This is what he stands for. You'll see in there the information is on the website. There's things that you can get on social media. All of our handles are there. Get out there. I don't understand this too well, but tag people. Do whatever you have to do. Just to get the word out. We're going to have to do it with hardly any money. But we're going to try to do it because we got to. I don't want to prove to you that it can take a lot of money. I may be all wrong, but that's okay. It's an uphill battle, but my whole life has been an uphill battle. My whole struggle has been one obstacle and the other. I'm in it. I'm not going to be like crying when things are rough. Big mountain. It's a big mountain to climb, but we're climbing it. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to got to keep climbing it. So I would like for you to spread the word. The ballots will be in people's hands, if not already. Some people already got them. At least this is made to be in everybody's hands. I'm trying to tell people, vote early, follow the instructions, and vote in mail. And don't wait for June 7th. Vote as much anybody that you can. Vote now, because otherwise, you know, people are waiting to vote now. Get your vote in there. Even if Newsom gets 70, 90% of the vote, he still has to run against the second highest vote getter. Almost all those other candidates, there's 26 total, are Republicans. I need to be the person to beat all of them to be the second highest vote getter. Even if I only get 10% of the vote, but at least I need to be the second highest so I can then challenge Newsom all the way to November. That's the goal. It's a hard goal, I get it, but it'll be in the hard battles. I mean, all of our battles, all our lives, every struggle we've had in Boyle Heights and all the communities we're from, we've always had uphill battles, and we're going to keep doing them, but we get somewhere. We organize. I came out of these struggles here. This is how I was rich people. I'm very hard. I need to go with young man. And I came out of it because of the movement, because of people coming out of activists and leaders and try to teach us and organize us and mobilize us. And that's what we need to do, mobilize and organize and not stop. So that's what the goal is. There's ways to donate money. Any bit, $1, whatever you have, there's also ways to get the word out. Please do that. Now I'm going to read, I wrote a poem. My first press release was actually a poem. I don't think anybody's ever done press releases.
All right.
So I'm going to read you the poems that I sent them. It doesn't have to be the greatest poem in the world. It's just a poem about where I'm at and where we're at. And it goes like this. It says, let's imagine a new California for shared well-being. Then let's build it. California, a marvelous state with every terrain possible. California, with climates and natural environments unrivaled in the world, and yet with poison and degraded landscapes, ecosystems scarring our land, with wildfires and drought made worse by global heating, a destabilized climate threatening conditions for life. All preventable. And I want to emphasize, all of this is preventable. California, a wonderfully diverse state with a rich blend of cultures and peoples with wisdoms and talents from the indigenous and around the world. California, a land of plenty with massive industries, and still there's widespread poverty, hunger, homelessness. There's vast wealth and power concentrated in the hands of the few, while many with very subsist. Our governance, our body politics, too often fails us, hijacked by corporate and political entities organized against the rest of us. There's a winner-take-all electoral process that underrepresents our voices, our hopes, our dreams. We've been betrayed by an economic system that prioritizes profit, not people. Rewards greed instead of meeting human need. It's time for a change. Time for a new California. My name is Luis J. Rodriguez. I'm running for governor. I'm running on a politics of soul, of depth, with solutions commensurate to the problems. I'm for a state that puts people and the environment first, with justice and sustainability as our guiding principles, for quality education, housing, and healthcare for all, for the respect and dignity of every worker, with economic security and prosperity for everyone. And all this while protecting and restoring a beautiful, bountiful land. Recalibrating technology in accord with nature, our own natures, and the divine. The best political campaigns are about more than just elections. They can also be about how to build vital social movements. All of this is what my campaign is about. Please join me. Let's imagine a new California for shared well-being. Then let's build it. Any questions or comments that people want to have, since we got a really good, like I said, quality group of people? Yeah.
I'm just curious about the process of between now and May. This is sort of like a campaign stop. Are you going on tour?
Yeah. So I've been already up and down the state. We went to San Diego, went to Santa Ana, we went to Salinas, we were in Fresno twice, and then we just had a kickoff there about 2 weekends ago. We went up to Sacramento, we were in the Bay Area. We're going to go back to the Fresno Central Valley because it's a very important area. It's the poorest part of the state, up to Modesto, and then I'm going back to Sacramento for May Day. I'm going up and down the state as much as I can. We're only concentrating on key counties because there are 58 counties. I can't really touch all of them. I'm going to the key ones. So we got things planned up all the way to the election. Just so you know, June 4th, like your friend Fernando here, is going to be the big event. We're going to do it at South Hub Graphics here in Boyle Heights. We're going to have music, we're going to have vendors, we're going to have a big thing, we're going to make it a big deal, and that's just before the actual final election. But again, people can vote now. As soon as they get their ballot, follow the instructions, make sure you register. And by the way, anybody can vote for me even if you're not green. I'm registered green, but that doesn't mean you have to be. You can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican and vote for me. You can be an independent. So anybody can vote for me. This is not limited to what party that you have to be in. So, yeah.
Just one thing. It's on May 7th. You start getting the ballots.
Yeah.
May 7th.
Thank you.
Yeah, I heard like a rumor about like California becoming a rent-free state. Like, and I heard some are being with like the Poor People's Campaign. Are you associated like in terms with like that whole?
Yeah, so I have been part of the Poor People's Campaign since it started. I worked with the Reverend William Barber and all the other people involved with it. We had a big major event for climate just before the pandemic hit. The momentum all stopped with the pandemic. But that event was at Telfair Elementary School. If everybody knows the valley, that school, 25% of the students are in house. That's a lot of kids. We were there. We had 300 people. It was amazing. So whatever the Poor People's Campaign is, and they've done a lot of research and they can prove that poverty can end. That's what I'm behind. I'm pushing that as the program that allow us to rent because they really believe about centering the most impacted people. They bring in people who are homeless and are formerly homeless. And so I think that's why I'm part of that. I'm connected with a lot of movements because I believe in movements. I don't want it to be just Luis Rodriguez. It's movements. Let's make movements out of everything. So, yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Questions, comments?
I guess back to the politics. Are you concerned about like, I guess not like opposition, but like just some of those, if you're not going to centralize, like some of those hurdles that get in the way of that? Like, are there any like main concerns or optimisms about those?
Well, you know, my attitude is that, what's the word? We have to be formidable in whatever we do. Doesn't mean people have to run for office, but whenever you do, be formidable. If you're a port, be formidable. Some of the ports here, put your stuff out, put it out there. If you're going to run for office, then be formidable. And I'm going to be that way. And I got a lot of money, no. Governor Newsom's got $25 million. He's not even going to debate anybody. He doesn't have to. He's got it all in the bag. And none of the big media are covering people like me because the big media only wants to address the big money people. So they're covering him and the few Republicans that are challenging him. They're not even getting near us. They're ignoring us, and that's what they always do. And that's why I'm going to be as formidable as I can be with what I have. Not very much, but we need to build on it. We need to get stronger. Again, even if whatever happens, we got to build off all this. Other people should run for office. I get it. People have told me, why run for office? What a waste of time. It's corrupt. It's not. Why bother with it? And I get it, but here's what I would say. I don't turn over any space to the corporations. I don't turn over anything to the big money people. Let's take over all the spaces that we can. I also understand that everybody should do this. But if I can help develop new people running, young people in particular, I would even help train them and give them whatever they need. That's what we need, more voices, more choices. That's really what we're fighting for. So in the long run, there's a big, long plan. I'm trying to get in there to really get Newsom all the way to November 8th. But the big plan is the more voices, more choices becomes what everybody wants. Anybody else?
I just want to thank you, Luis, for your courage,
Yeah, thank
for
you.
standing up. You know, dreaming and believing and trying to deliver. It's much appreciated. And, you're definitely setting the seeds for a lot of us to move forward. And thank you so much.
I appreciate that. And it really is, the back of his t-shirt, I have my shirt too, I'm going to take it off, but yeah. It has dream and deliver. Why? Because I believe that we have to start with dreaming. Start with imagination. Don't just say, well, I want to solve problems. I want to be realistic. People have to start with that. Go, no. But once you have a big dream, then you got to bring some reality in it. How do you make it happen? So dream and deliver. We're going to deliver on the big dream. Just have a big dream and have big delivery. And that's what none of these politicians are willing to do. You know, they all have the same, they have platitudes, they all say the same thing. Once they're in office, you know how it goes. They just make the money and run. They don't really do anything. I'm not jumping on all of them. There's some good ones out there trying to do something. But for the most part, we're just getting our tax dollars and keeping things the way they are. Status quo is not good enough for us. Not good enough for us. Yeah. Anybody else have anything? So we're gonna spread this around. We got social media. We're gonna get this out. Again, just go to your own networks. Let them know. Push it every way you can. Let them know. You got to think about it. The ballot comes, 26 names. luisjrodriguez has to stand out above anybody else. And hopefully, I become the second highest vote getter, so that we can take this on all the way to the. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.